Gentleman's recognized.
Mr. Speaker, the resolution provides for consideration of H.R. 3293, the Departments of Labor, Health and Human Services and Education and related agencies Appropriations Act of 2010 under a structured rule. The Labor HHS Education Appropriations Bill provides $160.7 billion for fiscal year 2010 and continued this Congress's commitment to fiscal responsibility by coming in $52 million below the President's request and cutting 46 individual programs to ensure that taxpayer funds are used in the most effective way. This bill also includes $1.1 billion for activities to reduce improper payments, abuse, and fraud in the Departments of Labor and Health and Human Services and in the Social Security Administration, which could result in over $48 billion in taxpayer savings over the next 10 years. During these difficult economic times, it is more important than ever that we not only spend taxpayer funds prudently, but that we take the necessary investments to move our economy forward. This bill provides $64.7 billion for the Department of Education to prepare America's youth for a competitive global economy and to ensure that all Americans have access to the education needed to succeed. Funds in this bill, combined with the funds in the Recovery Act, which will provide states with $4 billion in grants under the School Improvement Fund, which will target assistance to approximately 13,000 low-performing schools. This bill also boosts Pell Grants, which help approximately 7.6 million low- and middle-income students pay for college each year. Further, it provides $653 million to historically black colleges and universities, Hispanic-serving institutions, and other developing institutions, and nearly triples new loan guarantees for HBCUs. As we prepare for our youth for tomorrow, we must also protect and develop our current workforce. This bill restores the Department of Labor's capacity to enforce laws that protect the wages, safety, and benefits of workers. It also helps those who lost their jobs during the course of this recession by providing $1.4 billion for training and supportive services. $50 million of these funds will be used to prepare workers in green industries, not only helping to provide Americans with decent, good-paying jobs, but also helping the American economy be more competitive. This bill, recognizing the incredible burden that this economic crisis has placed on countless Americans, also provides much-needed assistance to our vulnerable populations. It will help families stay warm through the winter by providing $5.1 billion for the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program. It will boost nutrition, transportation, and other supportive services for seniors by providing $1.5 billion for senior nutrition and other services, and it will relieve some of the pressure placed on Social Security administrations by providing $11.4 billion to help the agency process the rising number of claims and reduce its current backlog. Finally, as we in Congress work to pass health care reform in the coming weeks, this bill will help build the capacity of our health care system and provide funding for job training in the health care sector, one of the strongest and fastest growing sectors in our economy. My colleagues are well aware that a whole lot of people well over 47 million people in our nation are uninsured. In the district that I'm privileged to serve, 25% of my constituents lack health care coverage. This bill provides $2.2 billion for community health centers, which provide primary care to 17 million patients, 40% of which are uninsured. While such centers provide a vital service, there are still far too many individuals that go without any primary care at all, endangering their health and increasing the burden on taxpayers by getting treatment when their illnesses have become serious and their care several times more costly. In my home state of Florida, over 971,000 women are in need of publicly supported family planning services. Yet only 35% of them are currently being met through public funding providers. While my colleagues on the other side of the aisle will throw and have thrown insulting accusations and deceitful claims, what we should be talking about today is how to further support the essential community providers such as Planned Parenthood during the shortage in this country, rather than making it harder for women and families to access vital health care. For 8 years, the Republican administration placed the needs of wealthy and the privileged before those of the middle class and poor. And now we are paying the price. I've listened to my Republican colleagues for the past week beat the drum of fiscal responsibility. Quite frankly, this is laughable at best. These are the same people who claim to be deficit hawks, but quite frankly, the real truth is Republicans instituted tax cuts for extremely wealthy people in this country and new spending programs that took our nation from surplus to debt, and my colleagues on the other side of the aisle participated in decreasing taxes for wealthy people at a time when we were at war. The only time in the history of this country when we were at war that we decreased taxes, and then when we did it for the best of us in our society as far as wealth is concerned. The Republicans lecturing us on fiscal responsibility is like Al Capone lecturing about crime on the streets. It doesn't pass the laugh test. With our economy in turmoil, Democrats are picking up the pieces of the Bush administration and restoring this Congress's responsibilities to protect our nation's health and social safety nets, to ensure equal access to a quality education, and to develop a globally competitive workforce. Mr. Speaker, I reserve the balance of my